Hi guys, and welcome back to How We Make Things. Today I want to walk you through my pallet wood stair treads project. It's not completely finished yet, as you can see. I've just finished the treads and I've laid them on top of the staircase to see how it turns out. In this video though, I want to take you through the process of ripping down the boards and gluing them together to make stair treads out of pallet woods. Let's get started. Now I cut my pallet boards down to 1 inch thick by 3/4 inch wide boards so that I can make a 1 inch thick stair tread. If you want to know how to do that, then go ahead and check out my other video that's linked right here, where I show you how to rip apart a pallet and then strip the boards down so that they're usable, nice looking boards for the stair treads. In all, it took about 12 large pallets, 46 by 66 inch pallets. And I haven't used all the boards yet, so I have some extra ones. But if you already have some boards, then let's dive into making the treads themselves. Whenever I'm doing a wood gluing project, I always like to organize the boards by size so that I know I can grab a long one or a short one. So go ahead and organize them just to make it a little bit easier on you, and then lay out a tape measure to the length of your tread. My treads are about 43 1/4 inch long. So I laid the boards out in the pattern that I wanted, making sure that I didn't have too many joints matching up with each other, otherwise it would be very structural. Then you lay them down on their backs, all the boards down, so they're laying flat and you now have a flat surface. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the wood glue. I use type on, type 2. I would not recommend using type on, type 1. Either use type 2 or type 3. That just means more waterproof and a longer dry time. So you just drizzle it on there and then paint it on to get an even distribution. You really want to make sure that you have good surface coverage with your glue, because this will be the structural element that's holding together your stairs. You don't want them to fall apart while someone's walking down. That'd be kind of embarrassing. So make sure you get really good coverage with the glue. And when you're finished with that, you just stand the boards back up and press them into each other. Try to maintain the same location in the boards that you had when you first set them up. Otherwise, your stair might end up a little bit shorter than you originally anticipated, or some of the butt joints between boards will match up and it will kind of make your stair a little bit less structurally sound than originally planned. I then took some steel bars, just because they're extremely rigid, put them on either side, and used pipe clamps. Now, it's important to use pipe clamps because they clamp down way tighter than bar clamps or than just regular hand clamps or C-clamps. So bar clamps are really important. After a while, I learned to put one bar clamp on, not tighten it very well, and then press the boards in so I didn't end up with gaps in the middle. Once all the boards are pressed together, then I tightened the pipe clamp a little bit more and then lifted it up to put pipe clamps underneath as well. If you only put clamps on one side, it'll make your stair tread bow. So make sure that you put clamps on both sides of your stair tread. Then you just leave that thing to glue for about 24 hours. If you want, you can scrape off the glue. Sometimes it's easier just let it dry and then scrape it off once it's dried. After 24 hours and it's dried, remove the clamps and then take it to the chop saw. You need to chop off the end pieces and then chop your board down to the length of your stair tread, which for me was 43 inches. Then I took a hand scraper and just scraped off some of the excess glue so it wouldn't mess up my planer. Then I took it outside for the planer to plane off the surface and make it all level. One thing I would recommend doing is to attach the tread to another board that you know is level, so that as you plane it, it's leveling against a level surface. Otherwise, your board can end up with a little bit of a warp in it, and when you go to attach it to your stringer, it can kind of wobble and be a little bit weird. After all of my treads were planed down, I used some wood filler to fill in the gaps between the wood. This was so the dust wouldn't gather in place in the wood, also so that the polyurethane would give it a better finish overall. I finished off each board with 120 grit sandpaper with my belt sander, which turned out to be a bad idea because it left a bunch of sanding ridges in the board. But despite that, I continued with the router to route off the front edge of the board. You don't want a hard corner. If somebody falls, they'll totally die. So route out both sides of the board with the top and the bottom of the tread, just give it a nice round finish. And the final step before polyurethaning is to finish off with a higher grit sandpaper, like 220 grit, and just going over the entire surface. I should have removed more of the sanding belt ridges, but I didn't. After that, you should lay the boards out and they'll look something incredible like this, just smooth and nice and multicolored and random, which is fantastic looking. After that, then you're going to grab your polyurethane. I used a clear gloss, flat fast drying Minwax polyurethane. Turned out awesome, looks great. I didn't even stain the boards because I wanted to really bring out all the randomness in these treads. And I think the best way to do that is to just coat it with a clear coat, a gloss coat, and it just brings out, it makes everything pop. We ended up doing 3 coats. We sanded between the second and the third coat, and that made the final coat just really smooth and glossy. And that's it for the treads. Next, I'll be doing a video on how to actually install them into the staircase itself. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I've got a couple other recycled wood projects, and I've got a couple more to come. So if you want to check out the ones I've already done, go ahead and click right here. Also, I'm standing in front of this tree bookshelf. This is a project I did a while ago, and it turned out fantastically. So go ahead and check that out. You can click right here if you want to see that. Stay tuned for some more reclaimed wood projects, which will be coming your way, and some electronics projects. Also, if you're new to this channel and it's the first video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would love you guys for forever. And if you like this video, press the like button. It gives me better feedback on what kind of video you guys like seeing, and hit up the comments with anything you think I should do better or that I should just make or do. Anyways, thanks again guys, stay sweet, I'll see you next time.